It's not just annoying, it's dangerous. Let me explain. Now, I'm going to describe what happened to me yesterday, and I know that for you adults, this happens to you all the time because this is the world we live in. But I have an appointment with a doctor's office coming up, and I get the call, the expected call. Hey, you're getting ready to have your visit with doctor whatever. I got some questions to ask. Do you have any specific concerns? Blah 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 blah. And then they start getting into this weird dystopian, futuristic nightmare Orwellian crap. Uh, we notice here, and this is exactly how it went. I actually have the call recorded. I should just play it, but I got to make sure I don't have too much HIPAA stuff on there. But I record all my calls, just the thing. But it was paraphrasing here. We noticed that you haven't had your COVID vaccine. Will you be doing that? I'm like, no, 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 I'm not interested. Uh, okay, we notice here that you haven't had your flu shot in the last 5 years. No, 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 I'm not going to take that. Okay, well, also we see that you haven't had your shingles shot. I'm like, no, and I kind of laughed and I said, listen, I remember telling you this the last time we went through this, but please put in my record, put it in there so that when people call me, that they see it right there in bold print that I'm not interested in any of the vaccines that are being offered. I don't want any. All right. So, she just moves on as if I hadn't said anything. And she says, okay, so are you living with other adults? Yeah. Um, do you feel safe in your home? This is a fucking doctor's appointment that I'm going to. And she wants to know if I feel safe. Is anybody abusing you? Now, I'm going to go somewhere with this because I know you guys already know these questions, but I'm just refreshing your memory. Is anybody abusing you? These are other actual questions she asked. Are you getting enough to eat? Uh, Here we go. Have you had any feelings of depression? Have you had any thoughts of harming yourself? Well, I am now because this call's jacking up my blood pressure. To be honest with you, if I can't get off this freaking call, and so are you considering harming yourself? Do you consider harming others? What was the other one, man? I mean, there's this whole list of questions that have virtually nothing to do with my bad back and my bad neck. I've gotten it 100 times. You've gotten it 100 times. And most of us, unfortunately, just look at it as annoying. But I, can't help but, and I thought I'd share it with you, I can't help but think of how absolutely and utterly dangerous this is for the growth and future of our civilization. Because what's happening, in my mind, is far, far beyond anybody at the other end of the line giving two bits of a shit whether or not you're feeling bad or depressed or anything. Nobody cares. They don't care. You can almost see where this all came about. This all happened under liberal, and again, I got to bring politics into it because this was a liberal construct, a democratic construct that started and really blew up under Obama's term and then really went into afterburner during Biden's term, was when you had all of this weird leftist socialist mindset. You could just see them at their little tables meeting to come up with these policies. We need to find out. This is the list of questions because all the doctors do it now. I believe most, if not all. But ask yourself, what is the real agenda? Now that we have established, and I think we can agree on the fact that nobody gives a crap about how you feel at home, there's got to be a reason for everything. There's got to be an agenda. And here's what I believe it is. First of all, how many people don't think as deeply as we are when we think of this stuff? Everybody, and there's a lot of people that like to have attention. They want to be victims. I mean, good people, your neighbor, your daughter, your sister, your wife. Maybe when a stranger says, have you had any moments of depression in the last month? People would be inclined, if they're not thinking tactically, to say, well, yeah, I was a little depressed. Well, now that box is checked. Now you're in the system. In the case of like the VA or even in just regular medical, so you're now in a governmental database as having been depressed. You don't want to give this kind of power to anybody. Why? Who cares? Do you feel unsafe in your house? You know, you and your wife just had a big argument. Wait a minute, Maddie. My dog's barking. You just had a big argument, maybe, whatever. Well, no, I do feel he is kind of big, and I don't. Okay, well, now you're in the database as being a potential victim of abuse, and now the guy that's with you or the girl that's with you is potentially slid into a different category of suspect. How can this be used against us? Oh my God, man. Think about all the other agendas going on in America. Let's just, off the top of my head, Second Amendment. Well, half the country wants to do away with that. And what a better long game plan than to start batching people into groups with things that are not conducive to carrying and owning and carrying a firearm. So now you run into some issue, and they have the AI run the database, and 3 different times you said you had felt depressed. Well, I don't think this guy should be carrying a weapon. This is the low-hanging fruit on how to disarm a population, in my mind, is you start compiling depression, you start compiling, hey, the lady said she doesn't feel safe with the guy in the house, and now the guy owns firearms. Well, down the road, when it's time, we got the right person in the White House and the right criminals in Congress. It becomes time to start rounding up weapons. Well, who are you going to start with? Who do you start with? You're going to start with the ones that you can justify doing it to. And how do you do it? Half the people would never even connect the dots that way back in 2025, they were feeling depressed because they just saw a fucking movie about a dog getting hit by a car. And they're like, yeah, I was really depressed this morning. Or, depression is a part of fucking life. And it's not your doctor's business unless your doctor is your psychologist or your counselor. It's not your medical doctor's business. This is my message, share these private things with anybody. Don't share them with your neighbor. And damn sure don't share them with some anonymous voice on the other end of the phone who is putting shit into a database about you. It's dangerous, and the ramifications go far above and beyond what I've outlined here. I could spend the next 6 hours telling you how this could dramatically fuck a society. All right? You got to remember, the evil ones in this society are not stupid. And they know how to manipulate the systems that we have and how to tweak systems and create new systems. And we got a whole world of AI right now where they can grab data just by speaking it into existence. I need everything I can on Mr. Baxter. Anything that has keyword depression, firearm, fear, whatever. And, Grok or whatever the fuck spits out an entire report, or some government super secret version of Grok. And now they can just figure out, what do they need to do? It'd probably take 10 minutes to fucking put a case together on you. Be careful out there. They're not our friends.